America's newest true crime comedy podcast. Death and Entertainment starts now.
The following program contains scenes and language of a frank and explicit nature. Viewer discretion is advised.
Live from Los Angeles.
Hoo-ah! Here we go!
This is exciting, isn't it?
We'll do it live. We'll do it live. Fuck it.
What is going on, everybody? It is 3:21 p.m. Do you know where your deados are?
They're coming in.
Coming in hot. Yeah, we are starting early today.
I don't know whether to say good morning, good afternoon.
Well, people on the East Coast are just getting out of work. People on the West Coast still slaving away here, but hopefully we can entertain you on your last few hours of work.
Yes.
Maybe hour two. We don't know. We don't know what your situation is today. I'm all right. Who's dead today? A lot of people are dead today.
Yeah.
Most of humankind is dead today. We're lucky to be alive.
But there is some breaking news.
Breaking news.
Which warrants our breaking news clip.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
We have breaking news.
We've got breaking news. Mr. Joe Flaherty, original SCTV cast member, dies at 82.
He was hilarious.
Yeah. This is a big one. From the Hollywood Reporter, they say he drew laughs as Guy Caballero, Count Floyd, Big Jim McBob, and others on the famed sketch comedy show after Second City stints in Chicago and Toronto.
And Count Floyd, like a vampire character, that was inducted into the Horror Hosts Hall of Fame in 2021.
Wow.
Yeah, so he was an OG. Started at Second City in Chicago.
Yeah.
And then was on the TV show in Canada alongside Rick Moranis, Dave Thomas.
Yeah. Did you do Second City or did you do Improv Olympics?
Do I have to say? Improv Olympics.
I
didn't really try to get into Second City, but it was difficult.
Yeah, I'm sure.
They have a lot of pay-for-play scenarios there.
It's an institution.
Yeah, a mental institution.
Hello. Yeah, Joe Flaherty, the two-time Emmy Award-winning writer and Second City alumnus who sparkled.
You know how to read?
Sparkled.
We're not used to doing it this early.
I'm like spackled.
We're still squinting, from waking up.
He sparkled as Guy Caballero, Count Floyd, Big Jim McBob, and Sammy Maudlin as an original cast member on the landmark Canadian sketch comedy series SCTV has died. He was 82. His daughter told the Canadian press he died Monday after a brief illness. Quote, "Dad was an extraordinary man, known for his boundless heart and an unwavering passion for movies from the 40s and 50s. His insights into the golden age of cinema didn't just shape his professional life, They were also a source of endless fascination for me. In the last few months, as he faced his health challenges, we had the precious opportunity to watch many of those classic movies together, moments I will forever hold dear.
So that's cool.
That's very nice.
Yeah. And SCTV, you could feel that knowledge in a lot of their sketches. They did great stuff parodying Bob Hope, Woody Allen, obviously his vampire character.
Yeah. To me, I didn't realize, I was like, this guy looks so familiar. And then I realized that he was the heckler from Billy, from
Happy Madison,
from Happy Billy Madison Gilmore. Happy Gilmore. He's the guy that would scream, "You will miss this putt, you jackass," which me and my brother would quote every single day of our lives after seeing this movie.
Whoa! The club went further than the ball. What the hell was that all about?
It's just that it's rainy and that guy and it.
Jackass.
It's weird that a little part like that could be so memorable.
Right. Yeah. Just one little, a couple of classic lines in a movie and just in your mind forever.
And he was in Back to the Future too.
Oh, shit.
He's the guy near the end of the movie who Marty talks to before going to the West at the end. Like he's dressed like a PI by the tunnel.
Yes.
Do you remember that?
Yes.
Yeah. That's him.
Wow.
And then he was on the classic TV series Freaks and Geeks.
Oh, great.
Amazing show.
Yeah.
And he's like the kind of proud comical dad on it.
Yeah.
Who's strict, but, also pretty lovable.
Right. And that also lasted one season, right?
It lasted one entire season.
Wow.
And then gained a cult following. I don't think it needed much more than a season, though, really. To me, when you watch it, it's like one long movie. And it actually has a very kind of, they rushed the ending, but I think it actually closes out pretty well. So it works as its own thing.
Own little mini series story.
Yeah, that's how I view it.
That's awesome.
So yeah, he was did a lot of TV and movies, actually.
Wow.
And a lot of people say that SCTV was funnier than SNL.
A lot of people do say that.
Even in this chat.
I was going to say, our comments are saying that.
I have a piece of trivia for you, though, Kyle.
All right.
Do you know who his brother is? Joe Flaherty's brother.
Flaherty. No.
He's a director.
Director Flaherty?
Yeah, Paul Flaherty.
Oh.
And you know what movie he directed?
Nope.
That is right now, this is a crazy coincidence. Literally today, celebrating its 30th anniversary, Clifford.
Oh, shit.
Starring Martin Short and Charles Grodin.
Wow. That's crazy. Yeah, that's at the Alamo Draft House across the country, and nobody's going to it.
Except for us.
My sister was the only one who bought a ticket in Boston.
Does anyone else out there love the movie Clifford?
Seriously, that is a legit question because nobody remembers that movie. Alejandro's family grew up with it. My family grew up with it, and nobody else's that I can find.
I have to admit, it was mainly me that loved it.
Oh, shit.
I didn't even have support from my own family. My brother did.
Yeah, it was a family movie for us.
Yeah.
Me, my sister,
okay.
My mom, and my stepdad would watch it all the time.
I watched it all the time, too, but I feel like I was mainly alone.
It was the last movie for Orion Pictures.
One of the last, yeah.
Yeah.
The Orion Pictures, they won big with Silence of the Lambs, Dances with Wolves, but they were bankrupt.
And I think they did Short Circuit and RoboCop.
They did RoboCop 3.
Okay.
The PG-13 sanitized version. And the thing is, Clifford was made in 1990, so they meant to release it then, but because the company died, the movie sat on the shelf for 4 years.
Wow.
Hit theaters in 1994, hence the 30th anniversary.
Jeez.
And it did not do well in theaters. But then
this time either.
Oh yeah, this time either. But we made a difference on video, and we're gonna make a difference now.
Yeah.
We're gonna go see it tomorrow, right?
Yes.
At the Draft House.
Absolutely.
Let's start a movement. Who's with us?
If you're in LA, come join us.
If you're in New York, Atlanta, Milwaukee, go see it.
All right. So R.I.P. to Mr. Joe Flaherty.
Yes.
Up next in the unalived section, Louis Gossett Jr.
This was a huge one. What a legend.
Yeah.
He was the first Black actor to win the Oscar for Best Supporting Actor for the movie Officer and a Gentleman.
Yeah.
With Richard Gere.
Wow.
This is the movie with the song Love Takes Us Up Where We Belong, where the Simpsons parodied it.
Nice.
Where he's lifting her up at the end, walking out, like wearing the gentleman hat or officer hat. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm having trouble explaining this. But Louis Gossett Jr. plays a drill sergeant. And dare I say, might have inspired Lee Emery in Full Metal Jacket.
Oh.
Because he's a tough, no-nonsense instructor that gives Richard Gere a really hard time.
Wow.
And he won the Oscar for it.
No kidding.
Yep. Hattie McDaniel had won Best Supporting Actress in 1940 for Gone with the Wind.
Yeah.
But no man had ever won that until Louis Gossett Jr.
Mm.
And years later, Denzel Washington would win for Glory and then lead actor for Training Day.
Oh, wow.
So there's a little bit of trivia.
There we go.
And some more, actually, is that in the same year he won the Oscar, he also appeared in Jaws 3D.
Your favorite movie.
Well, if it's in 3D, I kind of like it more than a normal movie.
Yeah.
Because I always say this, Friday the 13th Part 3 in standard definition, that is, it's a pretty good horror movie. It's fun. But in 3D, it's like The Godfather Part 2. It's great.
There you go.
It's a great movie experience.
Uh-huh. You see the machete coming right at you.
Yeah.
Nice.
So what do we say about Louis Gossett Jr.? We got the article open here.
Yes, we do.
He was in a ton of stuff, just like Joe Flaherty wasn't in as much stuff as Louis Gossett, though.
Yeah.
But Louis Gossett really never slowed down, ever.
No. In a conversation with Variety, Richard Gere reminisced about their time on set. Quote, as tough as Foley was, you always felt this warm heart beating in him. That's why Lou was so effective in that role. He wasn't just a tough guy. He was someone who really cared about all those kids that he was mentoring. He worked hard to be Foley. He did a lot of research and spent time with a drill sergeant from Pensacola who was working with us. Lou was on him like white on rice, picking up everything he could. Lou was very smart and single-minded and not socializing with us. I didn't see another side of him while filming, but I didn't need to. Some actors are just knowable. Their basic humanity, no matter what they're doing, comes through. Lou had that. He was a good guy, but he had to be tough on us, and he was super tough. I can't imagine anyone better than him playing that part.
You know who it was offered to originally?
No.
Jack Nicholson.
Oh, you can't handle the truth.
Yeah. And then he turned it down, and a bunch of other people did too, and Louis Gossett got lucky.
Wow.
Lucky in the sense to be offered the part, but man, did he kill it. He is very intense in that role.
Jeez.
It almost feels like he's yelling at you.
What did I do? I just bought a ticket.
And recently he was in the Watchmen TV series, appeared in The Color Purple, the new one. He worked right till the end, didn't he?
Yeah.
Did Hollywood kill him?
Listen.
I'm not saying it.
Wow. So just starting up, just stirring up shit. Well, R.I.P. Louis Gossett Jr.
Yes.
We have another actor's death that we have to cover here. Chance Perdomo. Perdomo. Sorry about that.
Big fan here.
Yeah. Well, he's in something that two things that are big that I haven't seen lately. It's the new Sabrina, the dramatic one on Netflix.
Is that different from the one that was a few years ago with the girl from Mad Men?
That's the one.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah. And he was also
that was pretty good.
The Boys spinoff, which is Gen V.
Mm.
And I've heard that's amazing.
So he was still currently on that.
Yeah. Yeah. So
what happened?
He died in a motorcycle accident in upstate New York.
Oh my God.
Which is crazy. There's been a lot of motorcycle accidents. My buddy was just in one 2 weeks ago. This lady just cut in front of him and he went flying over her car. And his femur came out of his thigh, like had to get surgery, all this stuff. So
it's
crazy because I ride a motorcycle every day.
And you should stop.
I had one close call last week on the highway.
Shut up.
This car
you didn't say this.
Yeah, I didn't tell anyone. I was on the way to work over in Pasadena, and on the highway, this car just didn't see me. That I was right next to them, and luckily I saw them out of the corner of my eye. I had to swerve, and luckily there was no one to my right, because if there was, I would have just been like boink, 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 and just roadkill between two cars.
Can you please sell that? I already traded in for a minivan.
All right.
I saw
pickup truck.
Sure. I saw someone get hit by a car too last summer.
Jeez.
On a motorcycle. They just went like vroom, and then he flew off.
Yep.
And this is in the middle of the intersection on Melrose. And the guy got up like all in a daze, rattled.
Yeah.
And you really don't know if that person's going to be okay. They have to get checked out right away.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, you can walk around and still be bleeding internally.
I would have helped, but the thing is I was in the left turn lane, then it turned green, and I would have just been causing chaos if I stopped.
Be in the way.
And it looked like there were others. Anyway.
Yeah. So Jennifer Moss from Variety.com says, remembering Chance Perdomo, an unjust end to a career just beginning. She says, 5 months ago, I spoke with Chance about the season 1 finale of The Boys spinoff Gen V, and I could feel his excitement vibrating through the phone. While any young star is likely to be thrilled to speak about their latest project, this interview felt palpably important to Chance, as it was the first time the 27-year-old British-American actor had been able to even promote Amazon's TV show due to his commitment to the SAG-AFTRA strike, which concluded 1 week after the finale aired.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Yeah. He was just getting started.
Yeah. Bursting with desire to get into details about his superhero college character, Andre Anderson, Perdomo paused at the start of our call to tell me he remembered the interviews I had done with him during his days starring Ambrose Spellman in Netflix's Chilling Adventures of Sabrina. God bless you. God bless. Thank you, love. That was 4 or 5 years ago.
Wow.
So he seems genuinely like a good guy that remembers people who took care of him and gave him a voice, which is really nice.
Yeah.
And
he would have had a long career.
Yeah. Yeah. Perdomo died Saturday as a result of a motorcycle accident in which authorities say no one else was involved in. Wow. So it was just him.
It's dangerous, folks.
Wow.
Don't do it.
One vehicle crash. I mean, that's a scary thing. Usually, in a motorcycle accident, a lot of times, people can be speeding, but a lot of the times it's like you're doing nothing wrong. And just like I was just traveling down the road at the speed limit, and then someone just cut in front of me. It's just the nature of not being protected at all. That is the problem, but who knows?
I'm good. I have a sedan.
Got air conditioning.
Yeah. I can listen to the radio, Jack FM.
Yeah.
Listen to the B-52s on my way to work.
Yeah.
And not get killed. And I don't have to wear a helmet.
Yeah.
For that, anyway.
Yeah, she says, I didn't know Chance beyond these interviews that occurred during key moments in his career, mile markers that were meant to be just the start for him. But in the brief intersection of life I had with him, I saw his light and his potential and his humor and his kindness and how much he deserved more than he will ever get. And I mourn that, just as I'm sure many fans do.
HPE here says 27 is too young. RIP. A reminder that he was or is now in the 27 club alongside Amy Winehouse and Jim Morrison.
Yep.
And Brian Jones.
Damn. Jeez. Well, RIP Chance.
Yes.
That is brutal.
All right.
And we move on to our next segment here. There we go. Our next segment. Oh boy, is Diddy in trouble?
Yeah. What's the latest?
The latest and greatest.
It's hard to keep up with this diddler.
I mean, more than diddler. There's people that are coming out with murder accusations.
Didn't he just admit to shooting someone?
No, I don't think he admitted to it. I think, well, federal prosecutors are saying he admitted to it through another person. There was this woman. Let's see her name.
The shooting in 1999
Yeah.
at the club where J-Lo was there too.
Yes. Woman says Sean Diddy Combs shot her in the face.
Really? And she survived?
Yeah. Shine was convicted and deported for being the shooter, even though she's saying that was actually Diddy who shot her. News Nation says, new allegations from the infamous strip club New York shooting, or the infamous club New York shooting in 1999 have raised questions about possible legal cover-ups involving Sean Diddy Combs, his former girlfriend Jennifer Lopez, and rapper Jamal Shine Barrow. Natanya Rubin has said she spent the past 25 years trying to get justice for the night she claims Combs shot her in the face at the club, not Shine. And it's crazy because she doesn't have, at first glance, she did like a video interview and you couldn't even tell she got shot in the face, which is very lucky. Because
so she wasn't like Aaron Hernandez, buddy.
Yeah, whose one eye is just gone.
Who looked like Jason Voorhees without the mask after he was shot.
Right. And yeah, while Combs, Lopez, and Barrow were all arrested in connection to the shooting, only Shine was convicted and served time for the crime. I didn't have any reason to believe that someone wouldn't believe me, but as things unfolded, it was a very short period of time where I realized that's what's happening. Rubin said during an appearance on TV. The actual shooting, around 2:55 a.m. on December 27th, 1999, shots rang out at Club New York in Manhattan. 3 people were struck by gunfire, sending all other clubgoers into a panic. The victims of the shooting were reported as innocent bystanders and didn't suffer any life-threatening injuries.
I'm surprised there weren't more injuries when there's that kind of mass panic.
Yeah.
That's where people can get killed being trampled on.
Yeah, and shooting inside of a club.
Right.
Like, that is very easy. It seems almost more difficult to not hit more than 3 people.
Right.
Barrow faced 3 counts of attempted murder and criminal possession of a weapon in connection to the shooting. He was sentenced to 10 years in prison. And
Diddy
yeah.
Did Diddy do any time for this?
No, Diddy did none. Earlier this month, actor Mark Curry, I didn't know he was going to be involved in this story.
Who isn't being dragged into this?
He claimed that Combs paid Shine for serving that 10-year prison sentence.
For him. Like Diddy did it, but
yes,
it had a fall guy.
Yeah. Curry said that Barrow was paid $1 million in 2010 by the CEO and president of Def Jam, L.A. Reid, to put out a new album.
Curry said this at the time?
He said this month.
He's in the news a lot this year because he was also mentioned in the Cat Williams interview.
Yeah.
It's Steve Harvey stole his whole act.
Yeah, exactly. Let's see here. That CD never came out, so Mark Curry is saying, there was never a CD that was supposed to come out. He just got paid $1 million, which for 10 years in prison, you better be coming with more than $1 million for me.
Yeah, that's like minimum wage.
That's $100,000 a year to be in prison. No, I need at least $500,000 a year for 10 years. Come on.
You should have been his manager.
Yeah, for real. Everything he's going through is basically everything that everyone around him has had to go through prison, through death. It's a lot of things we had to encounter. It's the chicken coming home to roost. It's what happens. It's karma, Curry told Chris Cuomo. Wow.
Is Chris Cuomo still around? He's on Twitter now, I think.
Yeah, he's joining the internet revolution.
Yeah, they're all dropping on the network news channels, right?
Yeah.
from Tucker Carlson to Don Lemon.
Don Lemon. There are other lawsuits against Diddy. Lil Rodney Jones, filed a lawsuit earlier this month in New York federal court saying Combs sexually assaulted him and forced him to have sex with prostitutes.
God. It's like Vince McMahon type shit.
Uh-huh. Rubin told News Nation that Jones's lawsuit influenced her to speak up. Once Jones' lawsuit was made known, Rubin publicized her claims that it was Combs who shot her, not Barrow. And like she said, the past quarter of a century, he has vehemently denied that he was responsible, even though I know wholeheartedly, and so many others who are in the problem, we all knew he was responsible. And part of this with Lil Rod coming out is another shooting that Diddy and his son are involved in.
So he's bringing his son into his crimes.
Yeah.
We all remember that we talked about last week how he left his family high and dry during the raid.
Yep. And one of his sons that was there is apparently one that is involved in this shooting. Let me pull this up.
For those who are around the 1999 shooting, what I mean to say is, if you can remember that time period when that happened, did he go by Puff Daddy then? Or was it Diddy already?
He was getting close to Diddy if he didn't already get to Diddy at that point.
So Diddy and J-Lo were all over the news. They were the it couple of that year. Everybody was talking about the gun charges, and they'd show up to award shows together. It was completely fake.
Yeah.
And yet everybody was fascinated by it.
Yeah. And this is from March 4th, 2024.
Okay.
A music producer who is suing Diddy is doubling down on allegations that Combs and his son were involved in an LA shooting at a Los Angeles recording studio in 2022, as well as allegations of harassment. Combs was sued February 26 by Rodney Lil Rod Jones, a producer on his most recent album, who alleged Combs sexually harassed, drugged, and threatened him while he traveled and lived with Combs from September 22 to November 2023.
Very recent then.
Yeah. In the initial complaint filed in U.S. District Court for the Southern District of New York, Jones also detailed a shooting at, quote, writers and producers camp at Chalice Recording Studio in Los Angeles on September 12th, 22. In addition to Jones, he said Combs' son Justin and Justin's friend, identified as G, were there.
Wow.
The suit also alleges he's part of a RICO enterprise and that he and others are involved in sex trafficking ventures. A RICO enterprise is one in which people or groups act together to violate the Racketeer Influence in Corrupt Organizations Act, which is meant to target organized crime. The complaint is the latest legal trouble for Combs, who has been hit with a number of recent lawsuits, blah, blah, blah.
I'm all right, me says, bad boy, bad shot.
Yep. Bad everything. So this account says that he heard multiple gunshots after a heated conversation in a nearby bathroom. When the bathroom door opened, Combs and his son walked out, and Jones found G lying on the restroom floor in a fetal position, holding his stomach and bleeding out of his leg/hip area. Jones said he took the victim to the front of the studio where an ambulance was waiting. The LA Fire Department has not responded to a request for more information about the shooting. Jones alleged in the lawsuit that Combs instructed him to tell police that Combs had nothing to do with the shooting and that it was committed outside the studio by a drive-by assailant. Jones maintained that G was not shot outside Chalice.
So the cops didn't find it suspicious that the victim, first words he said were, Diddy didn't do it. He had nothing to do with this.
Yeah. Chalice Recording Studio did not immediately respond to a request for comment Monday. It also did not respond to a request for comment last week. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty shady that, I mean, of course, there's going to be blood all over the bathroom. If he was shot outside the studio, there would be a trail of blood leading to that place.
Most definitely.
The amended filing includes a message Chalice is alleged to have sent to an unnamed person stating, quote, the shooting occurred a half a block away from Chalice, and it was a result of a robbery. There were police reports corroborating this. Please wait for facts to come out before you start contributing to the defamation of our organization.
And what were they supposedly trying to rob?
Yeah. That lines up with Holly's understanding of the sequence of events. Quote, when LAPD arrived on scene, it was immediately determined conclusively that the shooting took place some distance from the studio. The amended complaint also states that people claim G went to the studio after he was shot. But where's the trail of blood?
You can't clean it up that fast.
No. Blood's not going to come out of the sidewalk like that.
You know who I think the real robber is?
Who?
Diddy.
Oh.
He robbed people of their innocence.
And people used to think that Tupac was crazy when he got shot inside the studio that Diddy and Biggie were recording upstairs. He was getting taken out on the stretcher and flipped them off and said, fuck you, I know you did this to me. And then everything was over. He did not mess with either of them ever again.
Some say that Diddy ordered the hit on Tupac.
Yeah. And the public was like, that's crazy. Diddy's the guy who's like dancing around in the videos and stuff, just like Suge Knight said.
Mm-hmm.
He's harmless. He's a nice guy. Doesn't sound like it.
Not from what I'm hearing.
Yeah, so it's pretty crazy that this dude saw Diddy and his son coming out of the bathroom after hearing gunshots, and dude just bleeding out there, and everyone's saying, oh, this happened outside, this happened down the street. It seems like it would be very easy to find out if it happened down the street.
You think the cops were paid off?
I think they didn't want anything to do with it. They're just like, you know what, we're staying out of this shit, we don't want to get shot.
Right.
Who knows?
Why get involved?
He could have people on the payroll. I mean, it'd be very easy. He's a billionaire. Why not have some people in your pocket if you want to do some crazy shit all the time?
Yeah, remember Tupac in that whole scenario of his death? Like, we found out how many crooked cops were on Suge Knight's payroll.
Yeah.
So Diddy probably had a similar situation.
Yeah, I mean, they're going as far to say it was Kim Porter murdered, his ex-wife. She died of pneumonia.
Wait,
And
she was murdered?
people are going that far now.
How do you give her pneumonia? Did he throw some dry ice in her bed?
I mean,
here, catch.
People are really, saying her death was shady and she could have been poisoned or something that gives you.
What? So why would she be murdered? Was she trying to get his fortune or something?
Oh, of course. Yeah.
And she probably walked in on him in flagrante with one of his proteges.
In flagrante. Yeah. I don't think that she was actually murdered. While it's possible, I think people are just going crazy with conspiracies at this point.
Right. It's hard to know what to believe anymore.
It
and
is.
how to sort out Diddy's mess.
Because it is quite the mess.
Yeah.
There are other people being implicated. And
oh, yeah? Like who?
Actually, since you asked,
We have breaking news.
Oh, yeah, him.
Oh, thank you, Ashton Kutcher. We have breaking news. It seems like Ashton Kutcher is going to be wrapped up in all this stuff. He has told people he's expecting to be subpoenaed through all of this, and people are freaking out. Mila Kunis is freaking out, apparently, behind the scenes. She's saying that you cannot say anything about your very good friendship, very tight friendship with Mr. Diddy.
Okay, so she's worried that he might say something to the press that's positive about Diddy.
Yeah.
But she learned her lesson from their published letters supporting Danny Masterson.
Yes.
That probably not the best idea to say you're friends with these bad guys.
Yeah, exactly. The A-lister is reportedly expecting a subpoena after raids on the rapper's house and pressure ramps up. Federal officers raided 2 properties owned by Sean Combs, and the crackdown is also prompting fresh scrutiny of Combs' relationships with several fellow A-listers. Let's see.
Ashton is having such a bad year.
Yeah.
Since last summer. His reputation has really taken a hit because everyone's looking into his involvement with the Hollywood Ripper case.
Yeah.
Not that he murdered anyone, but he definitely found Ashley Ellerin murdered in her living room and then pretended he didn't see it.
Yeah.
He thought it was red wine.
Mm.
And then he and Mila wrote letters to the judge asking for leniency in the Danny Masterson case.
Yep.
That was made public. And he took a beating. They both did. And he had to resign from Thorn.
Yeah. His anti-sex trafficking software company.
I mean, that's just everything fell apart for him.
Imagine if he had that software to keep tabs and keep his friends safe who are actually sex trafficking, such as Mr. Diddy.
Wait, you think it was a front?
It could be.
Or
keeping his friends safe.
God.
Yeah. It could be. That's just another
thorn
in the side. The developments are bringing up new questions about the A-listers close to P. Diddy. One star is the actor Cuba Gooding Jr., whom producer Rodney Lil Rod Jones named in his lawsuit against Combs. And Jones accuses Gooding Jr. of groping him in a makeshift studio on a yacht rented by Combs in 2023.
Wait, Combs is involved in Cuba's dirty business too?
Yeah.
My God.
Actor and venture capitalist Ashton Kutcher, whose public friendship with Combs goes back decades, is also reportedly expecting to be subpoenaed as a part of the sex trafficking investigation into Combs. Citing an unnamed source, Kutcher has yet to comment on the allegations against Combs, but their bond is thoroughly documented. In the mid-2000s, the pair were so close they took to touting themselves as the new Rat Pack alongside actor Jamie Foxx.
Oh, God.
The sitcom That 70s Show launched a then 20-year-old Kutcher to breakout star status in 1998. 5 years later, the actor co-created and produced the MTV series Punk'd, which we saw the creepy way that started.
Very creepy.
After witnessing a murder, he then thrust people into a very terrifying murder situation for his pilot, and then that got picked up and became Punk'd.
And the pilot never saw the light of day, but then the show got picked up.
Yeah.
Because that couple sued him.
Yes.
Rightfully, because they said that was terrifying.
For $10 million.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he was very much in shock after the whole Hollywood Ripper case. So naturally, less than a year later, he's going to stage a fake murder scene for television.
Yeah, exactly.
Because he's so, dealing with all the trauma.
Yeah. Combs making the band was another huge property at MTV at the time and helped foster their relationship. Kutcher and Combs told James Corden in a 2018 joint interview, another great guy, Mr. Corden.
God.
I'm
starting to think Hollywood is full of these pigs.
Yeah, exactly. I gave Kutcher a call one day and said, I heard that you're going to punk me, and I just don't think that's a good idea, Combs told Corden when the host asked how the two met. I think it was some version of, if you do that, that will not end well for you, but I think we should work out a deal. After accepting Kutcher's offer to go for a run early on in their friendship.
Will not work out well for you? What, was he going to murder him if he tried to punk him?
It sounds like, yes, that's exactly what he was going to do. Combs was inspired to complete the New York City Marathon, which he did in 2003. We had paparazzi all around us at the time, and Combs was like, you got to slow down, but make it look like you're not slowing down because I don't want to look like I'm not going to be able to finish this thing. He was so upset over the fact that he got skunked on this run. That year, he decided to run the New York Marathon. He just can't lose. Even when he's that close to humility, it becomes a driver.
Wow.
Oh, yeah. In his Hot Ones interview with Sean Evans, he said, I've got a lot I can't tell. And then paused. And then it was like, oh, I can't tell that one either. Because he was asking him about Diddy's parties.
Ashton was saying that.
Yes.
And he's got to be real careful lately about what he can and can't tell.
Mm-hmm.
Just like, what statement could he possibly say about Diddy right now? I don't think he wins in any scenario.
Yeah.
He's between a rock and a hard place.
Well, he put himself there.
He did.
Yeah.
Yeah. He made his bed.
He
He made Danny Masterson's bed.
Kutcher said, when I was hanging out with Sean, people did not understand why this Iowa farm kid went out with this hip-hop mogul from New York. But it wasn't that he was a hip-hop mogul and I was a farm kid. It was because he was black and I was white. It was that simple. If he was a white hip hop artist from New York, nobody would have noticed.
Okay, so now he's fighting for
Civil rights.
Yeah, to end racism.
Yeah.
What a good guy.
Kutcher and Combs were also among the earliest celebrity adopters of Twitter, now known as X, and both men were frequently name-checked in news coverage about the then brand new social media platform in 2009.
Even more reason to hate them.
Yeah. Kutcher is the sounding board for me, Combs wrote. Like me, he's a mogul, a new media mogul, but we are yin and yang.
They love being called moguls, and they always remind you of all their achievements.
Oh, yeah.
Like before, you said the actor / venture capitalist. I'm sure he paid media outlets to say that.
Oh, of course. Yeah. Shortly after issuing a public statement addressing their letters that advocated for Masterson, Kunis and Kutcher abruptly resigned from Thorn, the anti-child sex abuse organization Kutcher co-founded in 2019. I have worked for 15 years to fight for people who are sexually exploited. Victims of sexual abuse have been historically silenced, and the character statement I submitted is yet another painful instance of questioning victims who are brave enough to share their experiences.
He said that about himself?
Yeah.
Wow. He was probably presented by a lawyer. You have to say this, otherwise,
of course,
you're a goner.
Yeah, that's gone through multiple funnels of lawyers, PR reps, and more lawyers, all to just get to that. I mean, where there's smoke, there's fire. He's got Danny Masterson and P. Diddy Combs now as two of his best friends in the business. And
Wilmer Valderrama.
Yeah.
Yeah, in business and life. Yeah.
Yeah, so it is pretty telling that there's something going on with this guy.
Yeah. And who else is being dragged into the Diddy mess? None other than...
Oh, yeah.
Prince Harry.
It's getting hairy for Harry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is their relationship? It must have been similar to Ashton.
Yeah.
Like going out and partying. Because Prince Harry used to be this crazy party guy.
Mm.
There are photos that emerged one time, I think it was in Las Vegas, where he was completely naked running around, piss drunk.
Nice.
It's a good look for the royals.
Yeah. Prince Harry is dragged in a bombshell $30 million lawsuit against Sean Diddy Combs. Sex trafficking party says Star's access to the Duke of Sussex and other celebrities boosted his legitimacy as his mansions are raided.
I have a clip of this lady talking about Prince Harry's involvement, actually.
Okay.
She's Lady Colin Campbell.
Lady.
An author and socialite in London who has a popular YouTube channel. You got to see this lady.
No suggestion. There is no suggestion at this stage that Prince Harry did anything untoward, and therefore I am going to give him the full benefit of my doubt. And my doubt is huge in this instance. I am afraid people who are not that
huge
keen on Harry might find this whole thing a disappointment. Might. The operative word is might. This lawsuit could go the way of the Virginia Giuffre Prince Andrew lawsuit. But Harry has not been accused of anything save being present and being entertained by Sean Combs, who evidently, if the lawsuit can be relied upon, was very interested in both horizontal and vertical entertainment. Harry could end up being tarred with this brush depending on what happened, but he has not been directly put in the frame. You know, there is something very discomforting about people who associate with other people for a considerable length of time and then try to make out that they are deserving of a whole load of money because something happened in the relationship that was unsavory.
Unsavory. Yes, sex trafficking is pretty unsavory there, lady.
Yeah, that's like when Prince Andrew in the BBC interview when he said that Jeffrey Epstein's behavior was unbecoming.
It's a little unbecoming.
She's like, you mean sexual assault? He's like, oh, well, I was just trying to be polite.
Oh, yeah.
Cromwell Baird calls Lady Colin a trendsetter. And I concur. She has been all over Harry and Meghan for a while, calling them out on their ridiculousness.
Unsavory.
I love her setting too. Look at that.
Yeah.
Doesn't that just scream London socialite?
Yeah, for real. I love when socialite is like a qualifier for somebody, just someone who goes to fancy parties and is rich.
Yeah, it's a very real thing in London and Beverly Hills.
Yes. They say Prince William and Prince Harry met P. Diddy and Kanye West at a post-concert party the Princess hosted to thank all who took part in the concert for Diana at Wembley Stadium in 2007. So that's where they got their start. I don't know. It doesn't really say that he's implicated in these sexual acts as far as I can tell.
But he could be.
He could be, yeah. He's just named in the lawsuit that he was around. But this is all from Lil Rod's lawsuit, so he has blown the lid off of a lot of stuff that was going on. And it's getting a lot of other people to run through the door with him. And
there's a lot of A-listers that are shaking in their boots.
Yeah. Like the fact that Ashton Kutcher's name even came up, like nobody was even thinking about him.
And he was laying low.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. And so he's just sitting there being like, oh God, I hope they don't talk about me. And
yeah.
Here we are.
He can't shake it.
No. So that goes to say a lot about the people who are nervous.
Yeah.
That this stuff is starting to come across because they're saying that this is going to be bigger than Epstein. They said that he is
bigger than Epstein.
This is P. Diddy is the Epstein of the entertainment industry. So the reason they said they raided the homes is because, and this is all off the record, like not totally confirmed or not confirmed at all, but they're saying that Diddy used to hide cameras in every room of every party. And so like any place he was throwing a party, which included his own home,
security.
They would secretly film every room. Yes, you could say it was for security and try to get away with that. But there were people who were unknowingly being taped in sexually compromising situations. And he would go up to them and tell them, hey, I got this on camera, and blackmail people in the industry, and got a lot of control in the industry because of that. So he probably has a million tapes of people doing gay stuff, and nobody wants them to know. So they're just doing his bidding for the last 30 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Like John Travolta with a steward or something.
Yeah. So what they're saying is that when they raided, remember when we saw all those circuit boards and everything after the raid of those pictures or whatever, they're saying that there's terabytes and terabytes of videos from decades worth of parties of people in compromising situations. And when they actually go through them all, that's when he's going to get arrested and shit's over. Party's over.
It seems to be leading that way.
Yeah. Even though he's at Topgolf with his daughters flipping off the media that was there.
That's right. That's where he was spotted after the raid.
Yeah.
What, me worry?
Yeah.
He's just going to go play golf?
Yeah. And when the TMZ shows up, he's flipping them off.
Yeah. Is that where Henry Ruggs was the night of his accident, Topgolf?
In Vegas, yeah.
What is with Topgolf?
I don't know.
A lot of scumbags go there. If you like Topgolf, please don't take my words as gospel.
Yeah. Speaking of Henry Ruggs, we are going to our next story.
Ooh.
This is a huge one. I don't know how many people out there that are watching this right now have seen, but Rashee Rice, wide receiver, wide receiver #1 in Kansas City. Actually,
Super Bowl winning team.
Yeah.
current ring holder.
His vehicle, a $240,000 leased Lamborghini, was involved in a highway accident, and there's video of him running away from it after he crashes. So
there is video.
Yeah.
Because we were speculating the other night that maybe there wasn't video.
Yeah.
And so he would go on the run and then say, oh, someone stole my car.
Well, that's the easy way out, and he thought he could do it, but this was in broad daylight.
Jesus Christ.
So his Lamborghini apparently, allegedly, possibly was racing another car down a Texas highway, and they crashed, and then that caused 4 or more cars to crash behind them.
And no one was seriously injured?
As far as I know, nobody has died.
But there are a lot of injuries.
There were injuries for sure,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, of course there were, but...
Yeah.
It's time we had a heart-to-heart. Just 29% of tech workers are women, and just 8% are Hispanic. That opportunity gap is way too big.
Yeah.
DeVry Scholars
no?
programs are designed to help more underrepresented communities pursue tech careers. Let's help close the gap at DeVry.edu.
Dallas Morning News. Yeah, enjoying that.
Songs playing during this horrible crash.
Yeah. There's a Lambo. There's another car. All during the day. Like, what are you doing? Why
Let's talk.
race on the
That gap was uncomfortable. What's more uncomfortable?
But
The
you gotta get
opportunity
a
gap
run.
in tech. Only 29% of tech
Life
workers
is
are women,
boring.
and just 8% are Hispanic.
I guess.
Got to do something to make it interesting.
Yeah.
This is like riding a motorcycle.
Yeah.
So dumb. Like, I would compare motorcycles to chopsticks.
Yeah.
Jerry Seinfeld said, why would you use chopsticks? We found something better. A fork. Why would you ride a motorcycle? We got a car.
Yeah.
And why do you need to race a Lamborghini in the daytime when you could just go ride in a Lamborghini
Yeah.
and count your money?
They said the Lamborghini traveled onto the shoulder and hit the center median wall, causing a chain reaction collision involving 4 other vehicles. The occupants of both the Lamborghini and the Corvette left the crash site on foot without stopping to see if anyone needed medical attention or providing any of their information. 2 drivers with minor injuries were treated at the site, and 2 people with other injuries were taken to a hospital. Lohman said police were still working to identify the suspects. The police call sheet obtained by the news listed Rice.
If he was wearing his Kansas Chiefs uniform,
Yeah.
they just see him bolting down the highway.
Yeah, pads and everything.
With a football in his hand.
Former Richland High School and SMU star, which is Rashee Rice, he was listed as the suspected driver of the Corvette. I thought he was of the Lamborghini.
Oh, so another luxury vehicle.
Yeah.
Vehicle, as you put it.
Vehicle. And Henry Ruggs was the one. He was driving a Corvette.
Wait, so we're seeing a connection now between Topgolf, Corvette.
Yeah. 3 stories all in one. Spokespeople for the Chiefs have not responded to requests by phone and email for comment. A representative of Rice's marketing team also did not immediately respond to requests for comment. Rice's name had not appeared in Dallas County jail records as of about 4 p.m. Sunday. So this is 48 hours ago.
Easter.
Yeah. It was not clear if he faces any charges. But
he tried to blame it on the Easter bunny.
Yeah. Fucking thing came flying out. Bill Neighbors, who was driving on the highway when the crash occurred, captured the collision on his dash camera and shared footage showing a black Lamborghini racing down the road, closely tailed by a black Corvette. The Lamborghini speeds next to a white Hyundai Accent and appears to push it towards the center lanes. The Corvette behind it turns toward the center lane, and a plume of smoke appears as it spins the Accent back to the left.
So it sounds like a very black and white case.
Yeah.
Because it was a black car and
White
white
car.
Okay, never mind. I'll do my own sound. Wah, wah, wah.
The Lamborghini stops in one of the center lanes, facing oncoming traffic with its hazards on. 3 people exit the passenger side and walk toward the shoulder. 2 other cars are stalled along the shoulder ahead.
He's lucky that nobody died.
Yeah, Kayla Quinn, 27, told the news in an interview that she was driving home from the Fort Worth Zoo with her four-year-old son when the crash began. That's terrifying. Quinn said her car was sideswiped on the driver's side.
She's like, I just came from the zoo, and yet it's more of a zoo on the highway today.
She said her side mirror shattered, which prevented her from seeing much as she tried to pull over. Multiple people spun or flipped in the air, as she recalled. So there are vehicles that flipped in the air.
This is scary. And she has a kid. She has a little kid.
4-year-old. As she came to a stop, she looked back and saw men from the Lamborghini appear to pull someone out of the Corvette. 5 men from the Lamborghini and the Corvette then walked away on the shoulder of the expressway. Quinn said they appeared to be headed to a nearby train station.
Wow.
No one stopped. We had children, like we had kids. You know what I'm saying? It's the fact.
Oh, I know what you're saying.
Yeah. It's the fact that there was no sympathy shown to where y'all can even have the decency to stop and check to make sure someone's okay, to make sure someone's alive, you know?
Common decency. Being human.
Yeah. Video she provided the news shows a man wearing the white t-shirt, carrying a bag, walk by the crash site.
He had a Super Bowl ring.
Yeah. You guys all right? Someone from behind the camera asks. Yeah, my chest, the man replies. Where are you guys heading? The person taking the video asks. The man doesn't appear to reply.
So this is a man that's not him, though.
Yeah, no. Those guys are already...
Oh, they didn't even do that much.
No.
Scumbags.
Yeah. We got to get up there, though. The man whose face is obscured says, pointing up to a road above the expressway. You guys just going to leave it? The person taking the video asks. Nobody appears to reply. The group talks about calling 911 after the men from the Corvette and Lamborghini passed them. Wow.
That's so terrible.
Quinn told the news a pair of white cleats were left in the back of the Lamborghini. Bum, bum, bum.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. It's hard to deny that you were in the car when your cleats are in there.
Yeah, I think Rice is cooked.
Ooh, New York Post headline right there. Oh,
surely more to come with this story.
Yeah, there is. And don't call me Shirley. She said her shoulder still hurts, but her burst of adrenaline distracted her when the accident happened. Let's see. Let's see if there's a Rashee Rice crash video.
And what's going on with him now then? Did they track him down?
Apparently his agent said that he was now in touch with the police and cooperating.
Oh, that's nice.
That's very nice, isn't it?
Time since this terrifying crash, Kansas City. For the first time since this terrifying crash, Kansas City Chiefs wide receiver Rashee Rice is responding amid reports that his car may have been involved. His attorney writing in a statement that Rice is cooperating fully with authorities and will take all necessary steps to address this situation responsibly, adding his thoughts are with everyone impacted. The response comes 48 hours after this 6-car crash, caused, police say, by this Lamborghini and Corvette speeding down the expressway.
The major accident on the freeway at 6700 block of North Central Expressway northbound.
Dramatic dash cam video shows the moment police say the drivers lost control, one car slamming into the center median as the other appears to spin out. Kayla Quinn says she and her 4-year-old son were headed home after a day at the zoo. This could have ended way worse, she wrote on social media. Both cars hitting me, yet me and my baby walked out untouched. Police say all injuries were minor, and the occupants of the Lamborghini and the Corvette all ran from the scene. Moments after the crash, a bystander captured this video.
You guys all right? Yeah, okay. Where are you guys heading? You guys all right? Yeah. You guys just gonna leave it?
Tonight, the NFL not commenting, but the Chiefs president telling KCMO Talk Radio this.
We'll get to the bottom of it. We'll gather the facts, and then we'll react accordingly.
Dallas police are not saying if Rice was involved in the actual crash, and they're asking for the public's help in identifying the men in the video. Lester?
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC.
Jeez. Yeah, so we'll see. As of right now, he's not arrested. And yeah, that's just horrible.
Yeah, that is really scary when you see that video.
He's so goddamn lucky no one got killed. Because he would.
It's a miracle.
See you later. And running is probably because they might have been smoking weed or drinking, and you're better off. I mean, with legal percussions? No, that's repercussions. Legal drumming, percussions. Yeah, legal repercussions. It's horrible to say, but if you're drunk and you run away from the scene, they can't give you a DUI. You get, the fleeing the scene, which is legally speaking less punishable, I guess.
How did he get away though? No one saw him obviously fleeing.
Everyone saw him fleeing.
Then why not? No one could stop him. The cops couldn't follow him.
I guess. I don't know.
Track him down.
Yeah.
Because that rarely works out very well for the person trying to flee.
Well,
They're
think about
usually caught pretty fast. So the fact that he got away, that's another miracle for him.
Well, I mean, this caused such a bad pileup that the entire highway was shut down and nobody could get there. So the cops aren't going to be able to get there in a quick enough time to see these guys take off. So they probably had a few minutes before they were actually able to be reached.
And you know what might be the saving grace here is the fact that it was Easter Sunday and a lot of people might have been at home having dinner. Not as much traffic out there.
Yeah. That's crazy because you could easily say the opposite where there's a bunch of people who are traveling to and from, but you might be right where it's at that time where everybody got to where they were going already.
Yeah.
Oof. He's so goddamn lucky.
Yep.
But we'll see what's going on with this case as it continues on here.
Yep.
So yeah, let's go to the next one. And that brings us to this week's of the week.
Oh boy.
Yesterday was April Fool's Day.
Yes, it was.
And if you follow us on Instagram or YouTube here, we got quite the story for you.
We were the first to report that Dan Schneider was in talks to produce Happy Feet 3.
There was a number of people that fell for this and thought it was for real. There were a bunch of different giveaways. Dan Schneider was, pretty much canceled this week.
Everyone's talking about quiet on set, not quiet on the set. As I said repeatedly last week.
That's what everyone keeps saying.
I've been corrected.
Yeah.
But it's quiet on set.
Quiet on set, which talked about his many horrible things that he put people through.
Borderline criminal
activities.
But yet he's never been to jail. He's not accused of any legal crime necessarily.
Yeah.
Not yet.
Yeah,
but
not yet.
He was getting massages from Amanda Bynes. Embarrassing the writers, treating women differently in the writers' room and embarrassing them.
Yeah.
And a lot of questionable stuff with kids' content.
Mm-hmm. A lot of sexual innuendo.
Yep.
Almost every single episodes he produced involved kids with their feet out.
Especially iCarly.
Yeah.
At one point during iCarly's run, he asked the audience on social media, which is little kids, to please send photos of their feet into Nickelodeon with iCarly written on it.
Oh boy, that is so creepy.
Please send it to P.O. Box Dan Schneider.
Ugh. Yeah, so we had a few giveaways here that Dan Schneider obviously was a foot guy. So Happy Feet 3, he's ready to put his best foot forward. Wink, wink. If you look here at the actual penguin, they've got a human foot. The staff writer was B. Peck, which is a wink wink to Brian Peck, who is actually a criminal and involved in all these stories.
Yeah.
Where he did horrible things to Drake Bell.
And at one point on the Amanda show, not only was Dan Schneider there as the showrunner and creator, but Brian Peck was the dialogue coach.
Yeah.
And Jason Handy was the PA.
Yeah.
Another pedophile creep.
Right. Embattled former Nickelodeon showrunners thrilled to be on board for the latest Happy Feet sequel. He says he's ready to put his past behind him after his controversial interview with Boogie from iCarly. Quote, I really put my foot in my mouth. And if that wasn't enough for you, and the Death and Entertainment, watermark here wasn't enough for you, right here up in the top corner, this was written by Entertainment Feetly. Not Weekly. Entertainment Feetly. So that was our little April Fool's gag on everybody out there.
And a lot of people believed it.
They did. They're like, he should be in jail. And the caption for it was, this is truly disgusting. The man hasn't given anyone time to heal. And people thought we just didn't know how to spell heal. But it was one more wink, wink foot joke. So we got a few people with that yesterday, and that was very entertaining to us. So for everybody who fell for it, you are a part of this week's of the week.
And we will no doubt be returning to most of these stories in other weeks. Diddy, Schneider, Rice.
Cromwell is saying he looks like a tall Peter Dinklage in this picture. It really does.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is our live. Sorry, it's a little bit shorter this week and a little bit earlier. But Cromwell, you're saying that this is a good time for you and the people across the pond, huh? We might have to look into doing some earlier lives here.
Yeah. We're open for changes, but usually, of course, we're at 7 p.m. Pacific,
yep.
I have an important event today.
Very important.
So you can blame me or thank me.
Yeah.
And I might talk about this event at a later date,
Yeah.
but I can't reveal yet what it is.
No, we can't. And you got to go enjoy it. So we got to get out of here. We love you guys. Thank you so much for coming and sticking around with us this Tuesday afternoon / evening / whatever goddamn time it is over in England.
And until next week,
don't go dying on us. Bye.